So we do first-party engagement, both on the lot and on the dealer's website, on their VDP. If, especially in a state like Texas, where the dealers have a blue law, they have to be closed one day of the weekend. They have huge lots. We also have active shoppers that are avoiding making contact with dealers now. So we have sort of a passive sales present on each vehicle. So if you notice this particular car, if I walked up to it and I want more information on the vehicle, I can't quite look at exactly the info. So it's hot and it's 100 degrees out. I go to my text stream, and what's cool now is everybody's using text, right? So I just go to my text stream and I'm going to text the word car125. Actually, I'm going to text my own code here. This is a demo code, car3 to 59262. So I'm the customer now. I get a one-time text response right away. And let's make believe this is this is actually a white Ford F-150 Raptor. So it's unique to the lot, right? So I just got digital pictures. I got essentially a VDP of detail information, miles. And so my mentality as a customer now is I just got on-demand information kind of on my terms, right? And so at the same time, what our technology is doing is we're going out and getting some reverse lookup and database information. This allows the dealer to kind of take a step back, let the customers do their thing, shop without being hassled or harassed. And this allows the dealer to then collect at least cell phone information and, when available, contact information. And now the dealership can have a relevant conversation with the customer. So if it's during business hours, which happens all the time, dealers may call them and say, "Hey, are you still on the lot?" And they go, "Oh yeah, I'm back here behind service, kicking tires." Or on Sunday they're there, and then they follow up on Monday. And our VDP engagement is what we call an online application. And so right now we have yeah, please, these are full size ones. Yeah, we've partnered with gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the partner name, but
Mobado?
Well, that's us. Mobado is us. Who's our partner? Our video partner? Embedded? UnityWorks has done make and model specific video. And so when a customer lands on that particular Audi on my VDP, our application fires out video specific to that vehicle, and then there's a one field engagement space there that allows a consumer to just pop in a cell phone, which we're seeing these days. Like, how many emails do you have over the years?
90, almost.
A bunch. Well, like I have 2 Yahoos, I have 2 Gmails, right? But I only have 1 cell phone.
Yeah.
And so we allow consumers to engage via text. This works the same way. It delivers detailed information to the customer. They get value on demand, and then we then push the lead over to the dealer, and then the dealer's BDC, their business development center. What we coach them to do is engage them the way that they engage with you. So they texted on your website or on their mobile phone. Go ahead and just give them a text back saying, "Hey, I noticed you've texted me on 4 F-150s. I noticed you like the black ones. My name's Mike. If you need any help." So it's we find consumers like that arm's distance communication, and they'd much rather work a deal via text than the whole. They'll spend $40,000 and not want to make eye contact and not even. Right. Yeah, they'll pull the trigger on that. And I think it's a millennial mentality, but it's representing a market space behind them. Yeah. Like my 19-year-old, my 16-year-old daughters. Whenever I was doing a volleyball thing for them, I said, just print it. I'll sign it and print the medical form. And they looked at me like, "Dad, are you out of your mind? Like, you just need to do the sign on the phone, right?" Yeah. So everybody's in here. Yep. And so we believe if dealers aren't they don't have a mobile strategy that they can articulate, then they're sort of
behind.
I think they're behind. So that's our story.
That's an interesting story.
And if you're part of press, this is an old media guy. He Patrick is the founder and worked. He established a couple of television channels.
Excuse me, folks.
No, please.
Where'd it go?
Might have been behind you. And
Couple television channels.
had a couple TV channels and sold those, and first did this in text engagement in the real estate space, and then retooled the product for auto. And so my background is that I'm kind of the car guy, and Patrick's the media guy and the technology guy. So,
So he had independent TV stations.
Well,
he
he
ran a lot of cars.
he knew a lot of the OEM guys in Southern Cal and all their media, the people that were buying, I guess, ads. But the way that this can engage on any other media is when you can specifically tag a vehicle to a text ID, then you now have the ability to take that vehicle across all media channels.
Yeah.
And so we have the three engagements. When I said on lot, which you saw the decal program, you saw the online engagement. Offline, we can take now more different calls to action on print. And so even though the newspaper may not like this particular, this is an attribution layer that we can lay on top of any print media or television media for that matter, right? And lay an attribution component into it. Meaning that if I'm going to do a 10-second TV ad,
Right.
and instead of it being just your normal tired messaging, you could say, text the word F-150 to 59262 and learn all about my new F-150 suspension system. And then you push them from paid media over to a 4-minute YouTube video that's badass information, but you've only bought that, or maybe you're already there. Maybe you're already in media. You're already spending money. You might as well begin to change that ad to get that behavior back onto the mobile.
Yeah.
Just a matter of driving traffic. So, quick question. So you have that text. You have that text number. You've got their mobile number. Can you match that mobile number with other data about that person? And you could send them direct mail pieces.
Well, we are just focused on a one-time TCPA, what we call TCPA compliant one-to-one communication. So TCPA is the National Do Not Call list and those kinds of laws. So we have to be careful, and we coach our dealers to be TCPA compliant. So once they have that name and phone number, they are compliant. Now they can begin to communicate one-to-one.
But only
As soon as they take that information and maybe put it into some aggregating software and begin blasting things, then that technically they're out of compliance.
Can they return the text with phone calls, or do they find that there's pushback?
Yeah, they can either call or text.
Because what we're finding with some dealers is they're working their lead system, said people really don't want that phone call. They don't want to give their cell number.
Well, and so the way that we engage, that cell phone number does go to the dealer, and again, I think the first serve, I would say, from the dealership, because really the customer made the first serve, and he has used his mobile number to save information to his phone now, and so that I consider that the first serve. We coach for folks to volley them back in the same platform as they were first served. So text them back. Hopefully your CRM system has a way to text them back.
Sorry.
And just say, hey, I noticed you're on, you saved 4 runners.
Yeah.
Now we can have a conversation about 4 runners. I got 3 more coming in tomorrow, and so the customers are quite pleased with that, because, and I'm not digging on millennials. I'm saying they want it all, right? They're like, don't bother me, but be responsive when I want you to be responsive.
Yeah.
So this allows the dealer to kind of back off a bit, let them engage in terms that they feel somewhat in control.
Yeah.
And then as they give you information that's relevant, don't just call them and say, hey, I noticed you were here Sunday. Like, no, be prepared to have that conversation, whether it's by phone or by text. I mean, during business hours, I can tell you that this still happens during business hours.
Yeah.
And dealers will call. They're like, we're busy, or they got a phone number, and they're like, are you still here? And invariably, many of them are, right? Yeah. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to have somebody go, especially in lots like in Dallas, right? Yeah. You've seen those lots. We'll send someone in a golf cart to go get you customer traction.
Mm-hmm. And how many dealers did you say?
We have, Patrick, are we up to, what's our dealer count now? 150.
Mostly in Texas?
All over.
Yeah. We're kind of new kids on the block. We're a new company. We have just tremendous adoption, and the dealers that actually engage with what we do, they really stick with the program because it's just incredibly effective.
Yeah.
We have dealers that just utilize our online program. We have dealers that just utilize our on-lot program. We have dealers that utilize both. And truly, engagement is typically about 50-50. So, you'll see about 50% of your leads come here from online, and another 50% come from online.
When they use them both.
When they use them both.
50-50. Yeah.
Nice.
So
that's easy to track also. So you can always show a dealer, well, you got 50 leads last month.
It's exactly what vehicle they're texting in on. It's their phone number, it's their name, it's the ability for the dealer to then pick up the phone and text them, or pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, I see that you're interested in the 2014 Ford C-Max, and it gives them a point of contact. Yeah. And what we're finding out is that
without being too invasive.
It's not invasive, yeah. We train our dealers not to be invasive because we don't want them. Nobody wants to turn a customer off, right? So it truly is almost a courtesy follow-up, and it's what we're finding is that most people, when they, for example, have this installed on their site, they're closing at higher rates because of the nature of the mindset of the consumer. The consumer's in a shopping mode, so they're at a point where they've found a vehicle and they want to save it to their phone because they don't want to find it again, and then they find another one and they save it to their phone, and now they go to the lot and they're like, okay, the sales guy comes up to them and they're like, today's generation, they just don't want to talk to anybody, right? They don't want to interact. They just want to shop on their own. So our product gives them that flexibility to do that.